Hello, welcome to Kickn with K. This is K. Today we're gonna do a video on anxiety awareness. Disclosure, I am not a licensed, healthcare professional. I'm not a licensed therapist. Anxiety is just something that I personally struggle with, and mental health issues. So I'll just take it upon myself to do, the research and to bring awareness to these topics, because in our community we need to be able to talk about these things more, but first we need to understand what they are. I have my notes. This is some notes. There's one book. I also have some other notes, so you're gonna see me looking down, reading notes. I'm a note queen. But I'm gonna link the websites below of where I got most of my information. ADAA.org, which is the the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, and another website, verywellmind.com. I'm gonna link those below. So we're just gonna hop straight up into it. What is anxiety? Anxiety is the mind and body's reaction to stressful, dangerous, or unfamiliar situations. It's the sense of uneasiness, distress, or dread that you feel before a significant event. For me, I have anxiety almost before I go anywhere. Like, I get physically ill, physically sick. Like, my mind thinks of the worst case scenarios. And I used to be a person who, goes out often. And I don't think to my knowledge, like, I never really felt sick or I felt unsafe. So for me, it's social anxiety before I go anywhere. Like, it was super crippling, like the grocery stores, out with friends who I've been friends with forever. Like, I still get anxiety. It's family events, I still get anxiety. Like, and we're living in a climate now where do you really feel safe? These churches, the grocery stores, our kids' schools are being attacked. Centers of violence, and it's like, where do you really feel safe? Do we have a place that we feel safe? Is any of us really not anxious at this point? Especially, it's hard and it can make you anxious. So let me make sure I cover everything. Yeah, everybody's on edge at this point. Next, we're going to talk about some statistics. I'm going to read my statistics from this part of my notes. Anxiety disorders are the most common mental illness in the U.S., affecting 40 million adults in the U.S. age 18 and older. So if you ages 18 and older, 40 million U.S. adults suffer from anxiety. And these are statistics that are scientifically proven in facts. And this is why I went to the ADA.org. Anxiety disorders are highly treatable, yet only 36.9% of those suffering receive treatment. So all of these people have anxiety, and 36.9% are getting treatment for it. So that means we're just suffering constantly on ease, constantly. I haven't got any help for my anxiety other than my self-help, but I would like to get professional help as well. And I wonder, is that due to people, not having these conversations about anxiety awareness? Maybe they don't know that they're even experiencing anxiety, so they go untreated and they think these things are normal. People with anxiety disorders are 3 to 5 times more likely to go to the doctor and 6 times more likely to be hospitalized for psychiatric disorders than those who do not suffer. Anxiety disorders develop from a complex set of risk factors, including genetics, brain chemistry, personality, and life events. Social anxiety, which is the anxiety that I suffer from. Social anxiety disorder affects 15 million adults. That's 6.8% of the U.S. population. So 6.8% of the U.S. population suffer from social anxiety. Social anxiety is equally common among men and women and typically begins around the age 13. When I was looking at my research, some of the different types of anxiety, and I'm going to get into that too, some of the different types of anxiety is more common in women than men, but for social anxiety, it's the same. And it says it typically begins around age 13. Age 13 that's young. I'm 13, I was like in 7th or 8th grade. In 2007, an ADAA survey revealed 36% of people experienced symptoms for 10 or more years before seeking help. And that's what I was saying. Like, we don't have these conversations, so people don't even know they need help. People don't even know they're suffering. They just think these things are normal. They think that maybe everybody experiences this, and everybody doesn't. So it's important to bring these things to the forefront and highlight these things so we can have these conversations and we can figure out, who else is suffering from this? Is this normal behavior? Anxiety disorders affects 25.1% of children between the ages of 13 and 18 years old. Those are our teenagers. These are our middle schoolers. These are our high schoolers. Research shows that untreated children with anxiety disorders are at high risk to perform poorly in school. That's those grades. Sometimes we think our kids are not focused and paying attention. Sometimes they have a problem. Please excuse the train. I live near a train track. Yeah, they perform poorly in school, miss out on important social experiences, engage in substance abuse. So that's our drugs and our alcohol. So I'm gonna read from these notes. Yeah. Check in on your kids' well-being. 13 is young to be in consistent state of unease. Normalize asking your child how was their day. 13, like I'm 8, I should not be worried about, you're becoming an adult. You're a teenager. You're coming to puberty. But I should not be feeling doomed and worried about the state of the world. Like, I should still, have my childlike mentality. So normalize asking your kids how was their day at school. And you don't know, people bully these kids. Social media is, you have to have a certain look. You have to have certain clothes. It's a different time growing up right now. So ask your kids how are they doing. Some kids probably get bullied and you wouldn't even know because they don't talk about it. So just ask your kid how they're doing. Make it a habit and do a routine, a family check-in at the end of the day at dinner. Hey, how was your day? Did any significant things happen to you? How are you feeling? How was the week? Weekly check-in, daily check-in, however you have to do it, monthly check-in. Just check in on these kids because 13, that's young. And then you grow up an adult after being conditioned with this unease, and it makes you, socially awkward and things like that. I also wrote, don't be afraid to talk to someone or seek help. It's a high chance you're not alone, and there's nothing wrong with seeking professional help or advice. Now, like I said, I am not a professional. This is just something I'm passionate about and I want to bring awareness to. But if you feel like you are suffering like a constant state of doom, please don't. It's no stigma. It should not be a stigma around mental health. Like, you should be able to go seek help if you need it. Free resources. I will find free resources and I will post them within this week. Like, I'm gonna find some hotlines, some free help, some social media page. I don't know. I'm gonna find something for us because, like I said, I suffer from this too. Next, we're gonna talk about the causes and the symptoms. Symptoms: increased heart rate, rapid breathing, restlessness, gastrointestinal problems, trouble concentrating. And remember, the kids 13 and 18, you're still in school, so if you're experiencing anxiety and you're having trouble concentrating, that's exactly how those grades are slipping. Feeling unsafe consistently, trembling, weakness, feeling weak. Some of the causes are trauma, stress, other mental health disorders, drugs, or alcohol. Anxiety disorders increase chances of suffering from other medical illnesses such as heart problems, diabetes, and obesity. If you're constantly, your increased heart rate, rapid breathing, your restlessness, you're not getting your sleep, your body is steady in a mode of, I need to make myself safe. Like, I'm not safe. That's stress on your heart. Some people stress eat. So if you're constantly stressing and you stress eat, there goes the obesity. What are you eating? There goes the diabetes. There goes the high blood pressure. So these things can link to other things. Let me see what I got on this notepad. Know your triggers and try to come up with a creative way to combat it. Or if it's drugs and alcohol, you may want to stop. Assess the difference between your emotional state when you're, drugs and alcohol versus when you're not. Are you less anxious when you are? Are you more anxious when you do? Like, just, take observation of yourself. Journal it down. For me, I go out now, but I still get anxious. I have to literally talk more anxiety, like, get out of here. Like, because I didn't go anywhere for like I don't know, a long time. I didn't want to go anywhere, but now I'm like, okay, anxiety, you're not gonna control my life. Like, I'm still gonna get out of here, but I still get anxious. Even though I have talked to myself like this, I still get anxious to go out, but I still go out. So that's still a progress. I'm making progress. Not perfect. This is a journey, but I am making progress. I am getting out to see my friends more. I am slowly but surely going out with my family more. You know, going on trips, vacations. We're making some steps. We're making progress. I think that's all the notes I have on this page. Now we're going to talk about the types of anxiety. And I got these from verywellmind.com. And like I said, I'm going to link those websites below. We have anticipatory anxiety, feelings of fear, unease before an event. So that's kind of like what I have, social anxiety and anticipatory, because before an event, I'm just anxious of what can happen. The many possibilities that probably a needle in a haystack chance of happening, but it's being overwhelmed with worry that can last. It can last long, can occur months or weeks before an event. Generalized anxiety disorder is a chronic and exaggerated worry without a specific source. You spend a lot of time worrying about future events and everyday events. This type of anxiety is twice as common in women. Generalized anxiety disorder is more common in women. Panic, sudden and intense feeling of fear, a sense of impending doom. You know how people have panic attacks, you have to try to calm them down, but you can't really calm them down. So that's anxiety. Having a panic attack is a type of anxiety. This is a popular one, performance anxiety, stage fright. People are nervous before a performance, before a show, performance anxiety. And I feel like, some of these anxiety, like, oh, I have anxiety, I need to go seek help. Like, some anxiety is good and some anxiety is bad. Like, but if it's crippling you and it's stopping you from living your life, then then we may have a problem. So I feel like a little performance anxiety, is normal, but whether it's extreme and whether you need help or not. Phobia-related anxiety, like scared of spiders. You have separation anxiety. I know babies, have separation anxiety when they get away from their moms or their parents. So you can have separation anxiety too. It's not only with people, it can be with whatever comforts you. Separation anxiety from your favorite blanket, your favorite toy, whatever it is. Situational anxiety, I feel like it's pretty, self-explanatory. Certain situations, like fighting situations, make you nervous, weddings make you nervous, or something like that. And those, it's a lot of other it's a lot of different anxiety disorders, but these are just the ones that I wanted to highlight a few. And like I said, if you want to read more information, I am definitely going to link those two websites. And lastly, to wrap it all up, guys, and I'm going to be dropping content containing some of this information in post so you can see it and share it with your friends. Please like and share, subscribe, share this video, especially if you learned something new today. Treatments. We have exposure therapy. This is slowly introducing you to anxiety-producing objects, situations. This is often done using a technique called systematic desensitization. Tongue twister. Step one of that is to relax, meditate. I put breath work because meditating and breath work, they kind of go hand in hand for me. And deep breaths, like if you take a deep breath and just hold it for a few seconds, it brings you, when you inhale and then you exhale, it brings like a sense of calmness over you. So I agree. List your triggers, like journal. Whatever triggers you, if, like I said, if you're drinking and you're smoking and you figure that triggers you and it makes it worse, write it down. If certain individuals make your anxiety worse, write it down. And step 3 is expose. Gradually work your way through your list when ready using relaxing techniques. And when I was reading it and it was like list your triggers, it was saying from 1 to 10, on a scale of 1 to 10. So gradually expose yourself to those things. You might want to start, okay, I'm going to expose myself to my level 3s and then my level 4s, go in order. We have cognitive behavioral therapy, which is like mindset coaching. I'm not sure if I'm going to say this right, but dialectical behavior therapy. It teaches 4 major skills: mindfulness, distress tolerance, interpersonal effectiveness, and regulating emotions. I think that's kind of like, can tie into mindset coaching as well. Acceptance and commitment therapy, aligning with your beliefs. They have art therapy. They have doctor prescribed medications. Obviously, the doctor is going to prescribe you something. But if you're more a holistic person, which I'm more of a holistic person as well, some herbs that I found that were good for anxiety were chamomile, lavender, ashwagandha, kava, and passion flower. I personally love chamomile and lavender. I have an oral diffuser, and it does me good. But yeah, that's what I have on anxiety, guys. My notes. If you guys have any other questions about anxiety, please let me know. If I don't know, I'm gonna find out. As y'all can see, like I said, I'm the note queen, and I just want to bring awareness to these different topics. It's going to be 8 parts. Right now I'm doing anxiety. After anxiety, I'm going to go in depth on depression. That's also something that I've struggled with. If you struggle with anxiety and you need help, reach out to me. We can talk about it. We can find solutions if we must. I'm just here to raise awareness about mental health disorders, because it needs more awareness, especially in our communities, because people think you're just crazy or you're nuts if you need a therapist. It's not even that. Living the life that we live can easily make you an anxious person or somebody who needs help. So don't be afraid to go seek it.